From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Satellite and radar shows widespread snow showers beginning to fall across mid-Michigan this afternoon. The snow is actually coming down at a fairly good rate, especially for those of us west of US 127, and it is significantly reducing visibility at certain points in time. This is going to remain a concern across mid-Michigan as we go throughout the rest of the day. Temperature-wise, current readings are sitting in the low 20s. We're at 23 degrees in Lansing, 21 for our current temperature in Jackson. It is going to be a day filled with snow across the area. We will dry things out tomorrow, but then more chances for snow will begin to move in. 6 News at Noon starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at Noon.
President-elect Donald Trump officially sentenced in his New York hush money case. However, the judge has declined to impose any punishment. It's our top story at noon. Hello, and thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Megan Vaselli. Today's sentence, pronounced by Manhattan Judge Juan Merchan, cements Mr. Trump's conviction while freeing him to return to the White House unencumbered by the threat of jail time or a fine. Bradley Blackburn is here for you with more from the courtroom.
In a historic courtroom moment, President-elect Donald Trump appeared virtually before a New York judge to be sentenced as a convicted felon.
Never before has this court been presented with such a unique and remarkable set of circumstances.
In the brief proceeding, Judge Juan Merchan gave Trump an unconditional discharge. Trump will have a criminal record, but will not face prison time or probation. The president-elect, who was with his attorney at his Mar-a-Lago home, listened via video link. Before the judge announced his decision, Trump spoke to the court.
But the fact is that I'm totally innocent. I did nothing wrong.
Trump had faced up to 4 years in prison for the conviction, but prosecutors agreed to the unconditional discharge after Trump's presidential win. The sentence comes little more than a week before his inauguration.
This is the proverbial slap on the wrist. It is symbolic. It is an acknowledgement that there was a conviction, and it is essentially no more.
A Manhattan jury convicted Trump in May 2024 on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Prosecutors said he had attempted to cover up a $130,000 hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election. Trump and his attorneys have vowed to appeal, a process that could play out while he is in the White House. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The Jackson County Sheriff's Office now confirms that one of the men who fell through the ice on Grass Lake this past Sunday has passed away. Nicholas Zinnis lived in Grass Lake Township, served in the military, volunteered in his community, and owned a salon in Ann Arbor. Jackson County authorities say Zinnis and another man were skating when they fell through the ice. The other man was able to get out of the water, but Zinnis had to be pulled out of the frozen lake by first responders. Officials say he was unresponsive, so rescuers had to perform CPR. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Visitation for Zinnis is scheduled this afternoon from 1 to 3 at Sherwood Funeral Home in Grass Lake, with military honors and a celebration of life at 3 o'clock this afternoon. A new case of bird flu now has been confirmed in a backyard flock in Oakland County. Health officials say 11 people were exposed to the flock, and now 2 of them are showing symptoms of the virus. WXYZ, our ABC affiliate in Detroit, reports that both patients have flu-like symptoms and are in isolation. Meanwhile, the other 9 people exposed are being monitored. The state agriculture department identified the virus last week and now wants to remind people with backyard flocks to look out for certain signs. These include birds not eating, acting sleepy or lethargic, and tucking their heads close to their bodies. U.S. hiring picked up unexpectedly in December as employers added 256,000 jobs. It's another sign of the economy's resilience in the face of high interest rates. The Labor Department reported today that job growth was up last month from 212,000 in November. The unemployment rate dropped to 4.1, down from 4.2 in November. Inflation has come down too, from a peak of 9.1% in June of 2022 to 2.7% near the end of 2024. The drop in year-over-year price increases gave the Fed enough confidence to cut rates 3 times in just the last 4 months of last year. In other economic news, a Canadian plastics manufacturer plans to invest millions of dollars in Charlotte, creating nearly 200 jobs. Markdom International, based in Toronto, just announced that its subsidiary, Markdom Michigan Plastics, will open a new $19 million facility on the north end of Charlotte. The move is expected to create 170 new jobs in the capital region. And now the city of Charlotte is supporting the move with a 12-year tax abatement. However, the company has yet to announce a specific timeline for when this new facility will open. Recent data breaches in school systems have raised concerns in our community. And today, MSU's School of Criminal Justice held its first cybercrime training to help law enforcement respond. Cybercrime goes beyond economic offenses like data breaches. It also covers interpersonal crimes such as stalking and sex offenses, and experts are training people on how to handle them. The program is designed to help law enforcement better respond to cyber threats. Tom Holt, a professor in the School of Criminal Justice and director of the center, says he knows firsthand how cybercrime can impact families. A system many parents rely on to manage grades, attendance, and enrollment, called PowerSchool, announced the data breach that has left families, including Holt's, vulnerable to identity theft.
Kids' school was just hacked yesterday from the PowerSchool hack. So I've had my identity stolen probably 10 different times. So our hope is to better prepare the police agencies and criminal justice community to help the community as a whole, to help victims and to help eliminate, to the extent that we can, cybercrime problems.
The training is being offered at no cost to law enforcement agencies, and it aims to make Michigan leaders in cybercrime responses.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
The cooler temperatures that we have been seeing across mid-Michigan for the past several days will be sticking around, and we are adding in the chance for some accumulating snowfall across the area today. National Weather Service has issued winter weather advisories across a good portion of the lower peninsula. This advisory is set to expire at 1 o'clock tomorrow morning, and even though we're not expecting a significant amount of snow across the area, this advisory does highlight some of the travel impacts that we are expecting across the area this afternoon, this evening, and also overnight tonight. A look at live Storm Tracker 6 Doppler radar shows widespread snowfall beginning to make its way through the area, and we are going to hold on to the chance for snow as we go throughout the rest of the day. Now, by the time we get into this evening, winds will begin to gust between 15 and 25 miles per hour, and since this is going to be a very light snow that is falling across the area, those gusty conditions will allow this snow to blow around incredibly easily, allowing for some reduced visibility across the area, and then also some blowing and drifting snow overnight tonight. System snow will come to an end right around 10-11 o'clock, even though we are going to be mostly dry overnight tonight. As the system exits, it is going to shift our winds to coming out of the northwest, and that'll kick up the chance for just a couple of lake effect snow flurries as we start off our Saturday, but most of the day is actually going to be spent under dry and mostly cloudy conditions. Our next system actually isn't too far away. A very weak Clipper system will be making its way into the area early Sunday morning, bringing just a couple of scattered snow showers to the area, and then several chances for lake effect snow as we move into early next week. As I mentioned before, not a significant amount of snow expected across the area. Widespread snowfall totals anywhere between 1 to 3 inches. Localized or isolated totals closer to that 4-inch mark definitely going to be possible, especially with those lake effect snow bands in the forecast tonight and as we start the day tomorrow. As I mentioned, light snow combined with gusty conditions is going to be reducing visibility across the area, and we can see that playing out especially for those of us along and west of US 127. Visibility actually significantly reduced over towards Kalamazoo, down to 3/4 of a mile. And again, this is going to be a concern across our area as we go throughout the next several hours. Outside right now, you can see that snow beginning to fall over towards the capital. Currently temperatures in the low 20s, feeling like we are at 13 degrees with winds at 9 miles per hour. You can see that reduced visibility in the background of our Grand Ledge camera, winds only kicking up to 11 miles per hour thus far, and a very similar situation in terms of the reduction in visibility visibility over in Jackson. Temperatures currently in the low 20s, feeling just 10 degrees cooler. We are dry at this time over in downtown Hillsdale, but you too will have the chance for snow as we go throughout the rest of the day. Current temperatures in the low 20s, and we will make it up to a high of 26 degrees throughout the rest of the day. Scattered snow showers continuing overnight tonight as our overnight lows fall right back down into the low 20s. We do have a weather aware day in place for today just because of the travel impacts we are expecting this evening, but 6-day forecast shows we actually dry things out tomorrow, a shot at high temperatures near 30 degrees, something we haven't been treated to for quite some time here. Our next system moves in Sunday afternoon, turning up the chance for just a couple of lake effect snow showers as we move into early next week. Notice, not only do we have several chances for snow, but that second system also bringing a very brief blast of Arctic air to the area.
All right, Kendall, thank you. And while we're dealing with the cold here, it's a different story in California. Coming up, we'll have the latest on the effort to contain the wildfires there. So keep it right here, 6 News at noon. We'll be right back.